In 2006, there was an Australian teen drama show called H2O, Just Add Water. It centered around three teenage girls who became mermaids from an island called Mako under a full moon. It lasted 3 seasons until it ended in 2010. Then in 2015, there was a reboot called Mermaid Adventures, but more of a kid-friendly cartoon. It was even Canadian accented rather than Australian accented for some reason. Apparently, it only lasted for 2 seasons from May to July. I wish they had more seasons. I first came across this show during April of this year. Results? I accidentally fell in love with it. I loved the animation and characters. But do you think it ended on a cliffhanger? Well, you're wrong. I was just home alone, preparing for my birthday. I decided to rewatch H2O Mermaid Adventures on Netflix and went to grab microwavable popcorn to heat it up. I grabbed my phone with me in case I get any messages from my family, friends, etc. I watched the first episode of the series, The Secret of Mako Island, and ended with the episode Mako Island Hotel. During the middle of the episode, I scrolled through the internet to look up pictures of the H2O girls. While looking for some pictures, I suddenly found a link to a never-before-seen finale of the show. It was from Reddit, and the episode's name was Pollution. I didn't understand what pollution meant, so I looked it up. Once I did, it shook me. It is about garbage harming the environment by being littered in water. I clicked on the file, and it took me to a Google Drive link. The episode started with the usual intro and theme song. Once the theme ended, it showed the episode's title card, Pollution. Somehow, there was no music, just the sound of the underwater ambient. The episode began. For real. It showed the girls, Emma, Ricky, and Cleo at the Juicy Bar. They were discussing with Lewis about the news of a possible pollution. "Girls, you've got to be careful while swimming," Lewis said. "Oh, don't worry, Lewis. I'm sure this might be just a prank," Emma assured. Lewis gave Emma an annoyed look. "This is not a joke. It's real," he retorted. "If you say so," Ricky scoffed. "But I doubt that will ever happen." Cleo sat up from her chair and said, "Well, we've got to go for girls' night. See ya, Lou." "Bye, girls," Lewis declared. The 3 girls walked off. Lewis waved to the girls before his usual warm smile melted into a concerned frown. "They're gonna believe me soon, aren't they?" he wondered. It then cut to the girls underwater, conversing. "Is there really gonna be a pollution?" Cleo trembled. "I hope not," Emma answered, in an attempt to reassure Cleo. "Maybe somebody edited a newspaper to prank the city." "We've gone on many crazy adventures a lot, right?" Ricky said. Emma and Cleo nodded silently. "Girls, there you are!" a voice called off-screen. That character turned out to be Bernie, the hermit crab. "Did you hear the news?" Emma, Cleo, and Ricky exchanged concerned glances. Yes," Emma stammered. "There's going to be a pollution! There's no way to stop it!" Bernie remarked. Cleo whimpered in fear before Ricky put a comforting hand on her shoulder. Emma's eyes lit up. "Wait, I forgot! We have our powers!" she exclaimed. Ricky and Cleo glanced at Emma, hearing what she said. "Emma, you're a genius!" Ricky replied. "That way we can stop the pollution!" Cleo declared. The girls then visited Lewis's house, and they conversed about the plan to stop the pollution. "So, you girls believe me now?" asked Lewis. "Yes, we do," Emma answered. Lewis explained the girls the plan to stop the pollution. "Okay, Emma, you freeze all the drains and trash. Ricky, you boil the trash. And Cleo, you control the water to stop the trash from going out of the drain." The 3 girls nodded in agreement and looked at each other with determination. "We'll be right back." "Thanks for the advice, Lewis," Cleo called as she and her friends darted off. "We'll see you when we save the ocean," Ricky called also. Lewis smiled warmly, glad to have the girls as his best friends. It cut to the Oceanic Center. The girls prepared for the pollution. "See anything yet, Emma?" Cleo asked. Emma narrowed her eyes, looking for the garbage. Ricky looked further until... There it is! She exclaimed. The trio then dived into the water to stop the pollution and transform into mermaids. Quick, before it's too late, Emma said. The girls swam to the drains and found the pipes. So, what did Lewis say? Ricky asked. Cleo thought for a second before she explained what he said. Okay, Emma freezes the drains and trash. Ricky burns all the trash, and I control the water to stop the trash from going out of them. Emma and Ricky nodded in agreement. Emma used her powers to freeze the trash, but somehow it didn't work. What? Why isn't it working? She asked in concern. Ricky, do something! Ricky used her powers to try and boil the garbage. When she burned the garbage, it turned into ash. The trio gasped in horror. My God, what have I done? Ricky exclaimed. Cleo, this is your only chance! Cleo hesitated, but she used her power to pull the trash out of water, but it was too heavy. The water splashed heavily, but the girls evaded it. Cleo looked up to the surface before bringing her eyes to Emma and Ricky. Girls, get up to the surface! They swam up to the surface, careful to not reveal themselves to the public, until they saw Lewis's boat. Girls, I saw the thing! What happened? Lewis asked. We tried to stop the pollution, but it was no use. Ricky tried to boil it, but it turned into black ash, Emma said. Wait, are we forgetting Bernie? Ricky asked. Oh no, not Bernie, Cleo exclaimed. The girls dived down again to find Bernie and the rest of their friends. Bernie, Emma called. Teddy, Cleo called too. Carlotta, Ricky called also. However, none of their friends were in sight. Where is everyone? Cleo asked. Just then, Bernie crawled out from behind a nearby rock. Girls, it's too late. Before I go, I want to say that ever since you gave me my shell, I thought to myself if I could see my saviors again. Now I get to pass in front of my saviors. Goodbye, girls. Bernie collapsed due to the stench and air of the pollution. Bernie, no! Ricky exclaimed. Cleo fell to the sand and sobbed, curled into fetal position, while Emma swam towards the now lifeless Bernie's body with tears in her eyes. Ricky swam over to a depressed Cleo to embrace her softly. Don't cry, Cleo. We'll always remember Bernie and the rest of our friends from the sea, Ricky said. Speaking of remembering, we gotta get out of the water now, Emma shouted, pointing to another wave of black water coming towards them. Quick, we've gotta catch up with Lewis, Cleo yelled. The girls swam away from the contaminated water to catch Lewis's boat. Lewis waved his hands to the girls to signal them. Girls, get to the boat! He shouted. However, it was too late. The contaminated water poisoned the girls. It made them sick. They coughed and choked on the water as their faces turned pale as they slowly died and fell to the sand. No! Lewis screamed. No, not them, Lewis choked, fighting back his tears. I've got to get out of here. Lewis took control of his boat to speed away from the contaminated water. It cut to a tear-jerking montage of Lewis informing each of the girls' parents about what happened to them. First, he told Mrs. Gilbert and Elliot, Emma's relatives, and he told Mr. Chadwick and his new wife, Ricky's relatives, and then he finally told Mr. and Mrs. Sartori and Kim, Cleo's relatives. They were all shocked to hear what happened to their daughters as they mourned. As Lewis got back to his house at night, he sat down in his desk and opened up his laptop. He saw the wallpaper of him and Cleo taking a selfie. He stared at the picture for 5 seconds until his eyes began to water, before he took off his glasses and sobbed quietly, going into fetal position. Little did Lewis know that he was an expert at mermaids, but now he became a regular school tech with no other friends, and lost the 3 friends he cared for in his entire life. The scene faded to black before it showed the credits. There was no music, just silence, the underwater ambience. My jaw dropped at that moment. I mouthed, "What was that?" without actually saying it. I teared up, seeing what happened to the three girls, but I managed to fight back my tears. I didn't bother asking ZDF Studios about the episode, so I just moved on with my life and continued to watch the rest of Season 1 to make myself happy. Can you imagine seeing a finale of a show that only lasted 2 seasons and had no proper grand finale? Can you?